What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jam Movies. And me and Johnny just got back from the theaters, and we just finished watching Sinners. So let's get right into this discussion. So, we just got back, and I had told you right away I wanted to discuss this movie because this movie it's unique in its own way, right? Like, it's not like going into it. What I thought it was going to be wasn't at all what it was, right? Mm-hmm. And there's going to be some spoilers here, so if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want to know anything about it, don't watch this video. Turn it off, but don't forget to subscribe. It's a vampire movie, but it's so much more, and it's a mix match of so many different things, right? But you know what? Before we get into any of that, let's hit him with that budget.
So the budget is $90 million, which is a lot of money, but they had some big name actors, Michael B. Jordan and so forth. But we'll get into that as we talk about the actors. But I think for what they spent, it was well worth it. The movie theater was pretty full. It's probably going to be get busier after this weekend as well. What do you think about the budget?
Well, they're going to make their money back. That's 110% for sure. I mean, there's buzz going around this movie, with high ratings already, and it just came out, and for good reason. And we'll get more into that after. Mm-hmm. But they utilized that budget well, and like I said, they're going to get return money on it. So, they could, if they did say, they did a sequel, they could definitely put more money into this because the return money's going to be there. Because I want to talk a little bit of the story, if we may. Okay. So the story, there's a lot that leaves lingering, that I wanted to know. I wanted to know where the vampires came from, what's their fascination with music, even though they kind of briefly talked about it. It left me questioning certain things at the end of the film, which would have been nice to know more of the lore of the vampires, right? So, with that being said, if there was a sequel, I would be right into that idea, right? Because I want to know more, and I want them to flesh out more of that story of where all this started from. Yeah. But the movie, the way it plays out, it's not just a vampire movie. The storyline, it has a lot of heart too, as well. There's a lot of, relationships and bad blood and, returning home and all these things. And I thought it all, at first, it kind of just it doesn't go together as a movie, or you usually wouldn't see something like that working, but it worked. And then you add vampires in the mix to it, so it's like this serious movie, vampires, but it still keeps it serious, if that makes any sense. Yeah. But what did you think of the story?
I liked it a lot. There was a lot to it. It wasn't boring. There was a lot of dialogue, but it was worth it at the end as you get through the movie. But like you said, I wish they explained more about why the vampires are there and whatnot. How did they predict that they were going to come and kill them, and whatnot. But the director, Ryan Coogler, can't pronounce that last name, can you?
Ryan Coogler?
Yeah.
Coogler? I'm not too sure. We're not good with names.
No.
I'm sure the audience already knows that anyways. But, he's directed a fair amount of good films. With the exception of Space Jam, but, go ahead. That's for another day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, he definitely could put a story together, right? As we can see here, and his idea and his vision for what he wanted in this movie all work together perfectly. Because you felt for a lot of those characters, right?
I agree.
You kind of I had my favorites throughout that I wanted to see survive at the ends, and stuff like that. So. He's very good at fleshing out characters, very good at fleshing out the story. And with that being said, I think he did a great job at directing this film. I can't wait to see what he does in the future, and I hope he sticks to kind of this genre, even though it's kind of hard to say what genre. I mean, there's horror elements to it, but there's drama, like you said, with the dialogue, a lot of dialogue, right? Which wasn't boring dialogue either. I was getting interested in the characters as they were describing them, and like I said, they're what's the word for it? They were mingling together, and coming back to town, and you're kind of finding out that these guys, these brothers, aren't they're bad men, right? But they're well known, right? So very good all around with the cast. And actually, do you have anything else to say about the director?
No, like you said, he did an amazing job directing this. He also wrote it, so I liked everything. Hopefully,
he wrote it too. I didn't know that. Okay,
yeah, he did. Hopefully he makes number 2, because that'd be interesting. Give us a little bit more backstory to the vampires, but that's all I really have to say about the director/writer.
Yeah, so, I mean, with that being said, I know we mentioned Michael B. Jordan's character a little bit in the movie, so I definitely want to dive into that, most importantly. The way he portrayed both brothers, I thought was done perfectly. Because at first I'm like, okay, and I have to try to figure out which one's Smoke, which one's Stack. Okay, that one's wearing the hat, and this one's wearing the suit, and etc. Then throughout the movie, you start to notice the personality difference, and I was able to, pick them apart. So you kind of forgot that it was one person, sorry, and I actually believed it was two people. He did a great job. He's an incredible actor, anyways, in my opinion. I haven't really seen any movies that he starred in that I didn't enjoy. Even Fantastic Four. We already talked about that one, but
I do say though, even the third one, if you think about it, that when he was a vampire, I think he was completely different. Yep. Like, you forgot it was the same actor playing those characters, but I found it outstanding. When I seen him, I'm like, oh, okay, let's see if he can completely change the way he is as a character in this film, and he did, and he was outstanding. Do you have anything else to add about the actors?
Everybody did great. But I get you. I don't know a lot of these actors enough to even talk about them. The whole cast did great. Even the creepy vampires at the start. The three.
I agree.
Yeah, they were creepy, dead on what you would expect and what you wouldn't expect. You know what I mean? So what did you think of the ending?
The ending, I liked it, but at the same time, it was just like I wish it was like it didn't need that part at the end.
Yeah, I know exactly what part you're talking about. We had talked about this.
Yeah, I agree with you on that too, because there's no point, like, unless it's going to be part of the second one. But that's all I have to say. I really enjoyed it though. Like, it was a really good ending. Besides that, like, it's not really deterring me from the movie. It wasn't necessary. But what do you have to say about it?
So the ending we had talked about as soon as we left the theater. It didn't belong. It just you could literally cut that piece of the movie out, and it didn't matter. It was only a quick shot of we won't spoil the ending, but it was a quick shot of a date. You've seen a scene, and the scene went away like almost immediately, and that was the end of the movie. So it's kind of pointless. It didn't need to be there, but it doesn't take away from the movie. The movie was good. The ending was good. I think it was a satisfying ending, in my opinion. And I definitely want to pick it up on 4K when it comes out, 100%.
Me too.
To sit in the theater again to watch it, no, because those seats were so uncomfortable.
I agree.
Yeah, that was terrible. Yeah. But what would you give the movie on the Jammeter? Let's break that out.
Oof. 95. I liked it that much. It was good. I definitely will watch it again multiple times. Hopefully it comes out. There's already a steelbook being released, but I can't remember what date it's coming out. But I'm definitely gonna have to pick that up.
Yeah, I'll pick the steel up.
And then I'll probably watch it like 3 or 4 times this year because I thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope that there is a second one or a prequel or something, but
prequel. I would like to see a prequel.
Yes, yeah. So what would you rate this?
You know what? I'm gonna have to go with a 95 as well. I mean, I always go skeptical going into these movies that have rave reviews and stuff like that, because there's lots of movies that get terrible reviews and I actually enjoy and almost miss skipping it. And I'm glad that I was more skeptical because of that. Going into it and coming out, it's exactly what they said it was. It was an original story. It was everything you thought it was and wasn't. It was a well-made film. Everybody did great. Definitely deserves 95.
Yeah.
And with that being said, guys, thank you for joining us on our discussion of Sinners. Go out to your theater and check it out. It's probably best to be experienced in the theater, I would say. Yeah. And I didn't realize till the end there was in IMAX as well. So maybe we should have checked that out. But anyways, if you guys like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and thanks for jamming with us.